So today is October 31st, 2024, and it is Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. in U.S. Eastern Time. Today is Halloween. Happy Halloween if you celebrate. And today is also Diwali, Indian holiday. Diwali. Happy Diwali. Diwali usually doesn't fall on exactly on the same day every year. Most of the Indian holidays are depending on, I think, the sun, moon, location, and whatnot. So usually it's around the same time, but not exactly the same day every year. So this year it's on the same day as it is on Halloween. So this morning I had my breakfast, coffee and bagel. I had it in this cup. Every day is a fresh start. This is one of my favorite cup. Also because it has this picture of like a nice coffee art. I love coffee arts. And today is my week 7 of my half-day fasting that I started doing. Half-day fasting once a week. I do that. It's week 7 of that. I plan on doing that for 40 weeks. This is one way to have a long-term commitment for my faith and to help me to stay focused on a journey. And I think with my personality the way I am, I'm always, I don't know, it was funny that when I used to do trading, stock trading a while ago, and I don't do it anymore, I was always very short-term oriented. I would do day trading, or even if I did long-term for me meant a few days or a few weeks maximum. But when it comes to other things in life, I do plan on long-term stuff, and I think that helps me to keep going on that journey. And this is one, the faith. And then you guys know about I made about that goal about my half a marathon by next year. I'm progressing very, very slow there, but that's the point, that even if you progress slow, you have a goal that you can keep marching towards. And that is something that always I found that it helps me to keep going on that path, because short-term goals that align with that long-term goals are always good. But if we just keep doing short-term goals, it can get exhausting. Life can get exhausting, and we may not know where we are going, where we are heading, right? I mean, imagine if you are working in a place and every few days, if your priority changed, you won't be making a progress. So having that long-term goal kind of helps us to keep making that big progress. And that happens with even working in a company. When we are, there's a reason why companies focus on like a annual goal or quarterly goal, and from there at the top of the company it kind of goes down, and everybody kind of sets their goals that align with those, and that's how the big company can make a progress. So same thing happens with our life, is that we have to have those big goals, maybe annual goal, and then from there we kind of have the little chunks that we keep doing either daily, weekly, or monthly, whichever way they work, and we get there. And that also helps with reducing the stress of not worrying that we are not making enough progress, because some of the things we won't make enough progress in a day or a week, but over the period of time we will make progress if we keep taking actions. The consistency is the key I talk about. some of the thing we may not be able to do every day. The consistency maybe once a month. So that's what I try to focus on, and have been doing that. Feeling a lot better today. Yesterday I attended an event. So they do Bible study, and one of the other event that I attend, those people are amazing people. So they told me about this one, and yesterday they had a potluck, and every week they do Bible study, and once a month they do potluck. And I went there for the first time, and oh my God, so nice people. Absolutely the nicest people. One of the nicest people I ever met in my entire life. I was first time there, but they did not make me feel like I was first time. They welcomed me so nicely, and when they were having conversations, they were making sure I know what they're talking about, even though I didn't know of the people and stuff. It was so amazing. It was so amazing. You might be going through challenging situations in life, but if you keep the faith, faith over fear, and whatever that faith is for you, either whichever religion you follow, doesn't matter, universe, yourself, you have that strong faith over fear. If you just keep going, and if you fall off, don't worry, just come back to the path, and you are going to see the amazingness of this world, the amazingness of the people. If you believe in God, then God will bring those people to your life. It'll be absolutely amazing. Yeah. So I feel so grateful that I met these people yesterday. It was nice. And this morning I had this very nice thing happen. So my daughter, where she goes to after school, so they have this app and they take pictures of their activities. So there were a lot of pictures yesterday. I haven't had the chance to see all of them. So this morning I was looking through them closely, and one of the pictures of the activities that they were doing, it said, "You are the president of your country and design your flag." So there's pictures of the three kids, and one kid had like a flag, like an American flag. Another kid had a different flag. It was like white something, but I couldn't really see clearly. And then Alice was actually farthest. My daughter Alice was farthest. And in that, excuse me, she had the flag as a white paper and a heart, as a pink heart on the flag. And it just made me so proud. It made me feel so good that, she's 8 years old, approaching 9. In a few months she'll be 9. And the flag that she drew was love. And love is something we definitely need in this country to be spread right now, and other countries too, because people forget that this life is so short. People, even if they live long, it's like 100 years, right? After that we all die. And how we live our life and the love that we spread through our community, the friends and family and co-workers, because love is not only love between partners. Love is the unconditional love with the kids, the love, the caringness, and the love is nothing but understanding, patience, and all of that. When we show that to all our friends and families and neighbors, and that is an amazing thing. When I saw that, and then a couple of weeks ago at school, when I saw that she wants to inspire people, it makes my heart full. Now, she has her naughtiness. It's like, wants a lot of screen time. she wouldn't want to do her homework and stuff like that, and all of the kids stuff where being very strong-willed, those are there. But some of these things, it just moves me. I said today, and I tell her that the things that she inspires me with, and this will be one thing I'll tell her this evening, that I felt very inspired by her drawing of that flag with a heart in it. And kids know, even if they're 5-year-old, they understand the authenticity. So when I tell her that I'm inspired, she knows that I'm telling the truth. I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it. So I wonder where it came from. I don't think it was only for that, so I give her this, they're called lunch cards in Amazon, so I used to give her those with good writing and them, and so those I gave her every day for a while, and then she kind of got bored of, she liked it, but then she got bored, and then because they looked all similar, and then I bought another lunch card type of thing from Amazon, which is a big red heart, and they had a very good message, like one-liner message on this big red heart, and I give them not daily, like here and there, and she loves the concept. So I wonder if that also stayed in her mind or her subconscious mind as she drew it. But wherever she came from, or that idea she got from, and draw and connecting that as a kid. So grateful, God, so grateful. Because our legacy, we are all gonna die someday. Our legacy is about the lives we touch along the way, and make it a little better for them, right? Because we all live even after we die through those memories, through those things, and we can, if stronger they are, that we can pass it on, right? And people like Nelson Mandela or Martin Luther King or Gandhi, and all those big people, Abraham Lincoln, they still talk about them. Why? They died a long time ago, because their impact was so much that all of this, they live through the minds of other people, and they're still alive in the society through their inspiration, through their goodness and kindness, and what they gave to the world. That's their legacy. So we may not be that as big as them, but we all can make an impact, a good impact, being kind, be compassionate to others, no matter who they are. And we can draw inspiration from anybody. I'm in 40s, I draw inspiration from my 8-year-old daughter. So if we look for the things as they're all around us, we can draw inspiration from, and we can share them. Yeah, so that was a very good feeling moment when I saw that. Okay. So yeah, when I talk about progress again, day after day, I probably don't see a big progress, but now that a year after where I started my journey, I see a big progress, and I can, of course, there's always room for improvement. I'm making progress, but staying committed to a path will always bear fruit. You just have to stay committed, no matter what. Even if we fall off, we just get back up, which is also called resiliency. That's how resiliency is built. And actually, the other day I was reading an article, I think, where they said, and it kind of helped me realize about my own resiliency, because the funny thing is that it says more frequent failure you have, actually it builds up your resilience even more. I'm like, okay, that makes sense why my last couple of years I feel like my resiliency has gotten stronger is because I had a lot of I don't know, you call it failure or whatever you call it, my personal life, work life, and many things, many challenging things happened where I had to pull myself up and get going, and because there was no option, I had to do that. And you just figure out ways, um, positive way to deal with it, and then it just you just figure out multiple positive path, um, to get to a goal. And when we have multiple paths, it actually works better because your goals, you may have 3 different goals to reach to, and all 3 may require 3 different kinds of paths, because same rules may not apply, like the rules that you'd apply to get to getting to a half a marathon on a year, or a marathon in a year time may be different than if you have a goal to, I don't know, say get to a particular job title, or a particular, like buying a house, or a car, or whatever that your goal is. So there's different ways, or if it's a journey of faith, so there are different ways to get to a goal. And if more ways we know, and the positive ways we know, it just gives us more variety, and then life becomes more exciting. um, so yeah, it's like I mentioned yesterday also, I think Stephen Covey or somebody said, I can't remember who, I think it is Stephen Covey, who said, um, the mind is the most powerful asset that we have, and we just have to keep reminding ourselves of that, because whatever we focus on, it grows, right? So the other day at the church, I heard somebody was saying that whatever we focus on magnifies. If you focus on God, God magnifies in your mind. And if you notice, when you're feeling bad, generally you are focusing on something bad or sad or worrisome. And if you're focusing on something good, something nice, your focus magnifies there. Generally you're feeling good. So it's like, the good side and the bad side in our mind. It's always there. The seeds are always there. There's no way to get them out. But what we feed, right, the bad or the good, keeps growing. So it's in our mind. It's literally, our mind is in between, and then it just goes based on where our focus goes. I mean, think of it, the scale, right? It's the 0 and the positive and the negative. If you think of it this way, our mind is neutral. Our mind is neutral, and from there, unfortunately, the default is that it keeps feeding the negative. So we have to consciously feed the positive side of our mind for it to grow. And if we keep consistently doing that, the part of the negative also starts changing, and which is the subconscious, it starts changing, and you can use the subconscious for the good stuff to happen. There is something called autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is basically when you keep feeding the subconscious also the positive, and then it kind of notices the positive. Meaning, if you keep your focus on the positive throughout the day, like the gratitude practice is a perfect example. Like they say, there's so many researchers about gratitude practice. They say that when you practice gratitude, like 3 gratitude a day, and if you do the new every day 3 new gratitude, it's even better. Excuse me. And then your mind looks for those good throughout the day. The mind looks for those good throughout the day, because then it becomes a habit. And there's this saying, I think from Jim Rohn, is that motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Like when I started this channel, for example, I was very motivated because it was a different kind of motivation. I didn't want to give up the practice of mindfulness because I knew that mindfulness gave me inner peace when outside world, my outer world was chaos. And I knew how that felt, and I did not want for it to, or like to let go of it. And it's not that every single day I had the peace and harmony and all of that inside me, but to have that feeling that when things outside are still crazy, but inside I was feeling so peaceful. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know that's possible. So I'm like, I didn't want to let go of this practice, and that's why I started these videos. And through that journey, if some of you have, like, as you're coming back to this channel and seeing my videos, you know how my journey, I didn't capture it from late last year when it started, but I started 5 months ago, and from where I was and where I am even now. And of course, I hope that as months roll in and the years roll in, I get to a better state where I'm able to live less on the valley state, and go to the peak state more. And that is the valley state and peak state is Tony Robbins' term. He talks about, he has a rule that he does not allow him to stay longer than 90 seconds in the valley. I mean, he's, of course, a big um, name in this type of thing, right? Where like you work with your mind. And he does say that initially that 90 seconds probably were 4 hours, 4 days or whatnot, but the life is shorter we spend on the valley, which is our down, sad moments, versus the peak, which is we're joyful, we're spreading peace, joy, harmony, love, and all of that is we are living a fulfilling life. We are in that high frequency zone. We won't always be there, but the key is when we fall down, not dwell on this valley for too long. And nobody from outside will know where our mind is. We may be in a very nice gathering, but we might be feeling that that means we are in that valley state. It's where our mind is that defines the valley or the peak, not what is in our outer world. Somebody could have a very sad day, but internally they are feeling neutral, and even that would be moving towards the peak, so it's all about training our mind. So, and whichever way that works, for some people it's complete faith. You just pray to God when bad things happens and in the outer world, and you just trust the process, keep going, because nothing is permanent. The good things are not permanent, and the bad things are not permanent. They all just go in cycle. You just have to remember that. So yeah, I mean, it's just living less and less in the valley and trying to live more on the peak, and not forcing it, but just allowing it to happen. And I think I'm gonna do my usual, where I do the intention setting and visualization, my affirmation or mantra, however you want to call it, and then the senses. All of this I think I'll do off camera today after I finish this video. But I want to finish with this. I was listening to a short Wayne Dyer video. It just came up on my screen this morning, and I was looking at it and listening to it. Wayne Dyer, this is his favorite, my favorite quote that he says, when you change the way you look at things, the thing you look at changes. When you change the way you look at things, the thing you look at changes. The same thing can appear so many different ways to so many different people based on their life experience and all of that. That is like one of the thing that makes me wonder sometimes. But today's video actually was not necessarily this. What was the video? Because I watched few other things, so I feel like I forgot that specific one this morning. Let me see if I can recall. I guess I'm getting old. um, I forgot. I remember the video, like how he talked, but the actual message. So I'll capture it later. I'm pretty sure it'll come to me later, and then I'll probably make a short video about the concept because I thought it was really, really good. In some way, all of these messages are similar, and that's how sometimes it kind of gets lost because they're all similar depending on the message, what and when it is. It kind of resonates with us more because based on how we are thinking at that moment, on how life is feeling like at that moment, that resonates with us. Because have you seen like some books or YouTube videos or something that may resonate with you? Like 2 years ago you found out, oh my god, this I completely love it, and then now 2 years later you try to listen to it, you don't completely, the message doesn't completely resonate. It all depends on, like, at a certain time what's going on in our mind, at a certain time what's going on around us. All of that makes a difference. Oh, actually, I do remember the message. Yes. So, so he talked about when you are trying to manifest something, and oh yeah, this is absolutely the one. So he says, like, people think about seeing is believing, and he says it has to be the other way, because when you believe, it's the undeniable belief that you are going to see it, and only that it's going to show up. So I'm going to use this. So I have this post-it, purple post-it, right? So normally, if I want to see a purple post-it, somebody says I have a purple post-it here. Okay, I don't see it. I don't believe it. But his point is, you believe that there is a purple post-it, and then you just let go of the idea. And that's the key. I think we kind of have a hard time letting go of that idea. We believe that, okay, there's a purple post-it, is there. Not it's going to show up. It's there. And the universe will move things around and, bring that purple post-it there because we believed. And what ends up also happening, because our belief is so strong, our action also will guide in a way. Maybe, we will go somewhere to bring that purple post-it here. And that's the concept. His point is that just, believe without seeing it. Only then it's going to show up. And there was a similar quote by Abraham Lincoln where he talked about, I used to use that several years ago at my workplace when I was leading many people, and it was to talk about the belief and all that as part of inspiring the teams. And the quote was, to believe what we see. I might be saying it a little differently. What we see, what we can feel, what we can see and touch. Like, what we can see and touch is no belief at all, because it's already there. To believe in the unseen is a blessing and a triumph. To believe in the unseen is a blessing and a triumph, because what we can see is already there. Everybody can see that. There is no wonder in, it doesn't take any extra strength or power or resiliency or anything to believe it, because it's there. Everybody can see it. But when you can visualize or see something, it's there. When it's not there is what matters. Because if you think of it, all these big people, Abraham Lincoln and others, they have done the thing for the first time that people thought were not possible. And any big invention like this iPhone that I'm using to do the video, Steve Jobs, his leadership is a little controversial. Some of the things I like he did, and some of the things I don't like, that's a different story. But, it's all about imagining something that doesn't exist and imagining with such certainty that it is going to be there no matter what. And then whatever you have, that faith in God, universe, yourself, higher power, they will move things around to get you that thing, to get you that purple post-it or whatever that is for your life. If you're trying to manifest, as Wayne Dyer said, and thank God that idea came to my mind again, but anyway, because I really wanted to share that because I thought the message was so good. You believe it, it's there, because so many people prove that logic or concept, whatever you want to call it is. You believe it when your belief is 100%, no doubt there. It is bound to show up. Now you may say, sometime I don't fully believe, but then it does show up. And you'd notice that there are not as many. And what happens is, over time, as you keep believing and not believing, and then it just happens, it shows up a lot later, but then you get to that point by believing. I mean, it's like 2 steps forward, you believe, and 1 step backward is not believing, and then still it keeps happening, and then you finally get there, but it's slower. The process is slower that way. But if you have this unwavering faith that it's going to happen, you don't know how or what, but you believe, because all our, our thinking, feeling, action is thinking, feeling, action, or thinking, speaking, action, whatever concept you use, it's a cycle that all of that happens. The trigger for all of this is our belief, what we believe and what our values are, and our belief system and the values are tied together. And every thought that we are thinking and the actions that stems from the thinking, the speaking that we do, is tied with that belief and the values that we have. Those are the hardest ones to change, because when we grow up, the values and the beliefs that gets instilled in us from our childhood, and then as we grow up, if we are really willing to learn and grow and question our thoughts, we still can change. We can change ourselves from who we were a year ago or 10 years ago by working on ourselves, and which is some of it I'm trying to do, because there's always room for improvement, or there's always things we can do to learn and grow, and I try to do that. It all comes from that belief, and more growth happens when we question our beliefs, when we question our values sometimes, because we as human beings, we have this certain thing, we want something to be rigid because that gives us the control, and everybody wants to have certain control over their life, because our outside world, a lot of it we can't control. So some of that rigidity, it helps us also in our life. At the same time, when we use those rigidity to control some things that can bring challenges in our life, and if we can control that, like one of the example I'll give you is being OCD. OCD can create problems for people who are living with them. You may have somebody in your life that you have seen how that happens, or if you are one, that's okay. But the point is that not getting too tied to the beliefs and the values. Why? Partly also because we are so little in the vastness of this world or the universe, the galaxies. Our Earth itself is a little tiny speck, and we are even tinier. We almost are non-existent. So all of this control, you know, won't help us. It can just get us stuck in some place which we don't want to be stuck at. So yeah, I know I talked about a lot of random different things today, but I hope some of it is helpful to you. But probably you can see from my expression that I'm feeling a lot better today, and that actually was big thing is about the community I met last night and the night before, where I had this nice event I attended. All faith related, and for me that has been helping a lot, and I know this is a good path for me. So you just have to find out, like, if you're going through some difficulty in life, find those people that you're surrounding yourself with who would uplift you and who would help you to stay positive. You know it is amazing. Life is short, so still less on the valleys and figure out a way to get to the peak more often, then life can seem more beautiful. Okay, bye. I hope you have a wonderful rest of Thursday, and I will make my morning journal tomorrow morning, unless I have here and there a short video later in the day. I'll see. Okay, bye.